top 1% knew a secret strategy to wealth that could practically guarantee your business would succeed in the first 5 years. And what if it could work for you regardless of where you're getting started? This is the exact system and skills that allowed me to escape 6 figures of debt and make multiple millions of dollars by 33. And in this video, I'm going to reveal this system that has the potential to make you millions upon millions of dollars. Let's get into it. Part 1. Creating a signature offer. Most coaches start out selling their time, one-on-one sessions, private calls, custom plans. But here's the truth. If your income is tied to your calendar, then your business is always going to be capped. And so if you want to build real wealth, you need a business model, a business plan that has an offer that isn't dependent on you being on every single call. This is where your signature offer strategically comes in. A solution people can actually buy that gets them results without requiring your presence constantly. So what does this look like? What are some examples of this? A course that walks a client through your method, a group coaching program with content and support, a transformational challenge with weekly guides and video walkthroughs, a workbook or journal based on your proven framework. Let me give you an example in real life. So I remember a client, a mindset coach, booked solid, burnt out, completely, barely breaking even, and we turned her process into a 6-week group program with videos, tools, and just 1 live call per week. So it was the exact same solution, but it was built strategically. Same wisdom, new delivery. And she ended up scaling her income and bought back her time in the process. And that's the power of a correctly leveraged signature offer. But here's where most people go wrong. They build what they want to teach and not what their clients are actually hungry to buy. Well, I'm just really passionate about talking about this, and I just really want to share these gifts and these tools. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your gifts and your tools unless it's solving a problem they actually care about. And so how do you figure out what other people care about? There's a very simple answer to this. You observe. You ask and then you observe. So start asking people. Become more interested in other people than you are in yourself. Become more interested in hearing other people's stories rather than sharing your own. Nobody cares about your story unless they know your story is their story. So start asking, what are people stuck in? What do people keep trying and failing to fix? What would they gladly pay to finally solve? And that's where your signature offer begins, solving a real problem in a scalable way. And if you want help creating a signature offer like this, something people actually want to buy, I break it all down for you step by step in my 5-day offer creation challenge. And so I'm gonna link that for you down below in the description if you wanna sign up for that. I'll link our next live training for you there. And to really take off, every powerful signature offer needs these 3 things. Number 1, it needs to be something that is in demand. Not something you love, something your audience is actively searching for, whether they've said it out loud or not. People buy one of 3 things for one of 3 core reasons. Maybe it was something from their past that they wished they had and now they have an opportunity to solve it, right? Maybe it was stability, maybe it was support, confidence, a sense of worth, something that they deeply crave right now. So this is visibility, freedom, connection, income, or something they believe it will create a future that they want. This could be a new identity, a better lifestyle, a bigger purpose. These are the reasons people buy things. And so if your offer speaks to even one of these 3 emotional triggers, it instantly becomes more magnetic to the people that are hearing it and more urgent for them to say yes to. So number 2, the offer needs to be tangible. People don't buy vague ideas, they buy clear outcomes. So you need to give them something that they can see, feel, or track, be tangible. So an example could be launch your first coaching offer in 30 days. Another example could be rewire your money mindset in 3 steps. Another could be cut your client calls in half without sacrificing results. The clearer the transformation, the easier the sale. And then number 3, the offer needs to be repeatable. If you can't say what your offer does in one simple sentence, no one else will understand it either. You should be able to answer, what do you do, who is this for, and what result do they get? Like Donald Miller says, if you confuse, you lose. And I'll add, if it's not repeatable, it's probably not relatable. Before you build a funnel or run your first ad, start here. Start by creating a signature offer that's in demand, desirable, and duplicatable. Once you actually learn to do this, you stop selling time and start building a business that scales. Skill number 2 is marketing. This is the skill that creates demand. So now that you have that signature offer that's in demand, tangible, and repeatable, let's talk about how to actually get people to want it before they ever even see it. That's where the second $1 million skill comes into place, marketing. Marketing is how you create desire and demand. In other words, marketing is how you spark curiosity, stir desire, and stimulate demand. It's how you take what you've built and get people saying, I need this like right now. But here's where most people go wrong with marketing. They think marketing is just explaining how their coaching works, explaining how their business works, or worse, listing their credentials. I'm certified in XYZ. My framework has 7 pillars. My product has 7 features. I help people find alignment and live their truth. And that might sound nice to you, but your audience doesn't care. They care about results. They care about problems solved and transformations achieved. And so let's break down marketing into 3 powerful parts. Part 1 is promotion. This is where you get attention. Promotion is all about visibility, getting in front of the right people with the right message. And there are so many ways to do this as a coach and an entrepreneur. You could post a short form video about the #1 mistake your ideal client is making. You could host a 5-day challenge or a workshop that walks them through a small transformation in that 5 days. You could run an ad offering a free download like a checklist or a guide or a book. You could also collaborate and do a joint live training with someone who is aligned with your niche and already has your audience. So these are just examples. A relationship coach runs a 3-day Text Your Ex Back mini challenge and promotes it on social media. So each day, the challenge solves one part of the bigger issue, and at the end, she invites them into her paid program. So that's an example of strategic promotion. It's not just content, it's not just tips and band-aid solutions that you're throwing out there. The content is strategic and it moves people into becoming the person who will do the things that will change their life. That's what your promotion should do. And part 2 of marketing is positioning, becoming the obvious choice. So now that people know who you are, they need to know why they should choose you. Positioning is how you show that your offer is not just another program, it's not just another course, it's not just another product, it is the solution that they've been searching for. And so you do this through messaging that speaks directly to their fears, goals, and hidden frustrations. Breaking down myths, bad advice that they've heard over and over again, sharing client wins, personal stories, and behind the scene moments. These are all examples of positioning yourself. An example might be a health coach who sees everyone in her space selling restrictive meal plans. Instead of competing on better macros, she positions her offer as the anti-diet method for busy moms who want to lose weight without counting calories. So she wins every time to that market because she's just clearer and she's going against the current narrative that's not working for those moms and actually makes more sense for them, right? And that makes her the obvious next choice. Part 3 of marketing is relationships, building the bridge between trust and transformation. Once you've grabbed their attention and positioned yourself as the obvious next choice, the next step is simple. You need to actually build the relationship that leads to revenue, because visibility gets you seen, positioning makes you stand out, but relationship building is what turns an interested audience into income. And this is the part where entrepreneurs and coaches neglect this part. They promote, they post, they pitch, but they don't actually follow up. They don't nurture. They don't build belief over time. In this market, this is a $1 million mistake. So here's how you build a relationship to revenue system that works. Offer value-packed, example, lead magnet, a checklist, a quiz, a mini training in exchange for their email. My offer challenge is an example of a lead magnet because you give me your information and then I give you 5 days of training, right? So oftentimes you can do things like using storytelling. You can do things like posting an email sequence that builds trust and teaches people, show them what's possible. You could host a private podcast or a live workshop to go deeper and establish more authority. These are all examples of building trust with your audience. And so what it means is you're there to provide value, not just sell. You're there to serve and connect. Even these videos you're watching right now are an example of me providing value ahead of time, even though many of you will never pay me. Building audience and building trust. So here's an example of what this might look like for a business coach who creates a free quiz. What's your entrepreneur type? That would be an example of a quiz someone might take to see what kind of entrepreneur they are and how they can boost productivity. When someone takes it, they're tagged in the email system and they receive a 4-part story-based sequence that reflects their type back to them. Maybe it delivers value tailored to their mindset, and then ends with a natural invitation to an 8-week business accelerator. So this person in this example's not just growing their list, they're growing trust with their audience. And when people trust you, then they buy from you. So in short, marketing starts the spark, but relationship building turns that spark into a sale. So here's a recap of everything we've gone over so far. Promotion gets you seen, positioning makes you stand out, and relationship building continues them down the bridge between curiosity and commitment. And when you build a relationship to revenue system, clients come to you pre-sold, already thinking, you are the one I've been looking for. And so part 3 is the skill of selling. Okay, this is the final skill. You have to have this skill to move people to make a purchasing decision. And let's be honest, this is the part where most coaches and entrepreneurs cringe. They love serving people with their products and services. They love helping people, but selling is where things get weird. And maybe you've said things like, I just want to help people. I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to come off as pushy or manipulative. If they really want it, then they'll just reach out. But here's the truth. If you don't learn how to sell confidently and ethically, you'll stay stuck, even with the best offer in the world and the best marketing in the world. Because marketing gets attention, but selling gets commitment. Let's talk about what selling actually is. Selling is not convincing, selling is not pressuring, and selling is not forcing anyone to do anything. Selling is showing someone what's possible for them so clearly that saying yes feels like the next obvious step. Selling is aligning your solution with their desire and then showing them it's finally within reach. And when you do this right, it doesn't feel like it's selling at all. It feels like you're serving. And so here are 3 shifts to help you actually sell like a pro without feeling gross. Number 1, stop selling the features. Start selling the transformation. No one buys a coaching or service from you because they're excited about weekly Zoom calls or access to a portal. They buy because they want a meaningful shift in their life. They're not paying for the steps to your method. They're investing in who they believe they'll become by the end. They're buying the breakthrough, the identity upgrade, the result they've tried to get on their own but couldn't. So an example might be, instead of saying you get 12 weeks of mindset coaching calls, you say you'll walk away with the confidence to finally raise your rates, land dream clients, and stop second guessing yourself. That's the transformation. That's what moves people. Number 2, don't sell you, sell what life looks like after you. Coaches often try to sell access to themselves. You get unlimited Voxer with me. You're gonna get one-on-one support for 8 weeks. You're gonna get me really caring and in your corner. But your clients aren't actually buying you. They're buying what working with you makes possible. So an example, instead of saying, you get one-on-one coaching with me for 8 weeks, you would say, imagine being able to open your laptop and know exactly what to post, how to pitch, and how to close clients with confidence. They're not buying the container, they're buying the end result. And then number 3, make it emotional and visual. So there's a saying, facts tell, feelings sell. People visualize the transformation, not just logically, but emotionally. So an example would be, right now, maybe every time you check your bank account, your chest tightens and you're tired of trying so hard and still not making consistent income. Imagine opening your coaching calendar and seeing it booked out for the next 30 days with aligned clients, real cash flow, and total confidence in what you offer. That's selling with feeling. That's what makes people move. Good entrepreneurs sell the offer. Great entrepreneurs sell the outcome. If you're stuck describing what's inside your program, here's your new mantra. It's not about what's inside the offer. It's about what life looks like after it. Make it clear, make it emotionally resonant, and make it all about them. Because when you do that, you stop feeling like a traditional salesperson and you start becoming a trusted guide. And if your brain is already buzzing with ideas, but you're not 100% clear on how to structure or price your offer, again, my free 5-day challenge will walk you through it. I'll have the link to that down below if you want to create your first irresistible offer and map it out in just a few short days. I'll leave the link for you below. Get signed up. Let's recap the 3 business skills that can make you millions. Create a signature offer that's in demand, tangible, and repeatable. Master marketing so you attract the right people with the right message. Learn to sell so you move those people to say yes to the transformation that they've been waiting for. And when you develop these business skills, they can make you millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Now that you know the 3 business skills that can make you millions, there's one more thing that you need to make it work. The skills that actually fuel execution. Because knowing what to do is one thing, but if you don't know how to communicate, persuade, and lead like the top 1%, your business will stall out. So in the next video, I'm going to break down the high income skills the wealthiest entrepreneurs master early so you can learn them too. I'll leave the video to that